Josh, they should also throw at the window hot cross buns on Boxing Day.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Far too soon.
Crazy.
Dom, thank you. Well, finally, some good news in the battle against scammers. Even with the rise in the number of incidents reported this year, for the first time, there's been a drop in the amount of money lost. According to the National Anti-Scam Centre, Annalise Bolt has more.
If you feel like scam text messages are relentless, you're right. This year, false billing and phishing cons have surged, netting more than $52 million from unsuspecting Australians. One new scam targets loyalty programs, including Qantas and Flybuys. Victims tricked into thinking their points are expiring, clicking through to a fake website.
Don't click on the link. However legitimate it may seem, it is much better to separately verify.
Employment scams also up by a massive 267% in 2023. Here, criminals impersonate recruitment agencies, convincing vulnerable people looking for work into paying cryptocurrency. Investment scams cause the most financial damage, $277 million in losses. A huge number, but actually down 5% on last year. Money lost to romance scams also decreased, down by 12%.
It does represent an unprecedented effort across government and across the private sector to work together to stop scams impacting the Australian community.
Hopefully that's one trend which continues in 2024.
In just 3 minutes, the life-saving drug's about to become a lot more affordable for Queenslanders. The full list of medications. That story's just moments away. Lily Greer is back now with the weather. Lily, what's the latest on those severe storms?
Well, Josh, the rain has eased up here at Kangaroo Point. There's even the glimmer of a sunset in the distance, but I can tell you there are still plenty of lightning strikes. There are dark clouds overhead. A severe thunderstorm warning is still in place for much of southeast Queensland. We'll have your full weather rundown coming up shortly.
Potentially life-saving drugs will become affordable when they're added to the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme on January 1. Here's health reporter Gabriella Rogers.
The PBS allows Australians to access crucial medications at a fraction of the price. One of the drugs is Orkambi, used to treat cystic fibrosis. From January, infants aged just 1 will be able to access this medication, with research showing that treating patients as young as possible can slow the progression of the disease. Without the PBS, Orkambi would cost more than $200,000 a year.
We think about 30 babies and their families will benefit from this new listing of Orkambi. Getting in early will really reduce the progression of that disease and the damage done to lungs and other organs.
A drug called Lynparza is also being expanded on the PBS. It targets ovarian cancer, which claims around 1,000 lives in Australia each year. This drug will be accessible for women with newly diagnosed advanced ovarian cancer. Changes to the PBS will also see Calquence become available for patients with chronic lymphocytic leukemia or small lymphocytic lymphoma. These types of cancer affect the bone marrow, blood and lymph nodes.
This gives Australians access to the most cutting-edge treatments from around the world at affordable prices.
Finally, the drug Ultomiris will become available on the PBS to treat patients with atypical HUS, a rare genetic disease where part of the body's immune system is out of control, causing kidney damage. Without the subsidy, patients would pay around $380,000 a year for treatment.
Lily Greer is back now with our full weather forecast from Kangaroo Point. Lily, we haven't seen the last of the storm activity here in the southeast.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. It looks like the weather's eased up here at Kangaroo Point. We can see that there is a bit of a sunset in the distance, but don't let that fool you. There is still plenty of lightning around, plenty of dark clouds overhead, and the Bureau is warning that we could see storm activity right up until midnight. Right now, as we go to air, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in place for large parts of southeast Queensland. That could bring damaging winds, large hail and heavy rainfall, much of which we have already seen across the southeast. Take a look at this vision recorded just in the last hour at Kedron Brook, a waterway there, has broken its banks and it is flowing. You can see quite a bit of water in that area, and we have seen flooding in low-lying areas around Brisbane, so be careful out there and keep across the warning. So as we keep an eye on the storm cells that are hovering over the southeast, there are about 4 of them at the moment. We will take a look at these Boxing Day temperatures. In Maroochydore, there was a top of 31 degrees today, 33 at Caboolture. In Brisbane, sunny skies this morning, and it really felt like a scorcher here today, a maximum of 33 degrees, of course, before the weather turned on us. Towards the Bay at Manly, a top of 31. Same at the Goldie, and 30 degrees in Toowoomba. Now, rain and storms over much of the east coast in Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, as well as in the NT, can be blamed on troughs and a low that's evolved into a frontal system in the southeast. So what does this all mean for tomorrow's temperatures? Well, a top of 28 in Sydney tomorrow with a shower or two. A chilly one in Melbourne. 22 is the warmest it'll get there. Adelaide 25, Darwin 35, drizzly in the capital, a max of 23 degrees, and the same down in Hobart. Back home to Queensland, tops of 33 and a shower or two in both Cairns and Townsville tomorrow, with similar conditions in Mackay and Rocky. Out west to Longreach, 40 degrees tomorrow, and the mercury's not done climbing. Forecast to reach a whopping 46 degrees there on the weekend. But down here in the southeast, cloudy and rainy in Noosa, 31 degrees tomorrow, sweltering in Ipswich, 35 degrees. On the Goldie, I know you guys really want to break from the weather chaos, but there's a chance of a thunderstorm again tomorrow. Out on the bay, winds northerly 15 to 20 knots, seas 1 to 1.5 metres, partly cloudy, and a top of 34 degrees in Brisbane tomorrow, a medium chance of shower. And sorry guys, again, the possibility of a thunderstorm. As for what the last week of 2023 looks like, Brisbane, just get through tomorrow. There's sunshine and a top of 36 on Thursday. Gold Coasters, a reprieve on Thursday, sunny with a very slim chance of rain. The glitter strip set to dim though, with cloud and rain returning on the weekend. Ipswich, 37 degrees there on Friday, and the sunny coast, partly cloudy for most of the week. Your best chance of hitting the beach without rain looks to be Friday. But Josh, not just stormy in the southeast, it's going to be sweltering too. The Bureau of Meteorology is warning of a 3-day heat wave that's going to start from tomorrow. Sweltering heat, summer storms. Josh, it sounds like summer in Queensland to me.
Absolutely. Lily, thank you. That's 9 News Queensland for this Boxing Day. Dimity Clancy is up next with the current affair. Thank you for your company. From all of us, good night.